Hello, we're going to talk about consecutive interpreting model number 1. This is about Val Dively, and here she is, right? Uh, so Val is going to talk about her experience with TUI, the Union Institute and University. That's this place. Okay, that's where many deaf people have gotten their PhDs. It is worth you knowing about this organization, this college. Is where I got my PhD. Uh, this allows people to select their own committee and do their own research for their dissertation instead of having to follow with departments that have funding and need graduate assistance, so your dissertation becomes somebody else's grant, part of somebody else's grant. So that is often a problem for the deaf community because they want to research their own language and culture, and there's not a lot of money chasing that. Or if there is, it's through communication disorder research, and so it's just a clean way for deaf people to get their PhD. It's not for deaf people, right? It's still a minority of people who graduate from here are deaf. It just happens a lot of deaf people get their PhDs from TUI, the Union Institute. They've changed their website. It used to be TUI EDU. Maybe that still works. Now it's My Union EDU. Don't know. So you can get BA, MA, PhD. And what happens? It's an online system. Okay. So you go to, you have some physical face-to-face meetings. You go to Cincinnati or some other bigger town and have your introductory seminar, 15 days. Then you have 3 5-day seminars, and you get to choose. They're all over the country, different times of the year, different topics, whatever you want. Most of them in Cincinnati because that's where they have their um, buildings, their facilities. Sometimes Washington, D.C., LA, Florida, but it could be anywhere. And we're going to see that Val goes to Montana, and she'll show you that sign, to study or to work with the Northern Cheyenne people tribe, the Indian group there. Um, they call themselves a tribe, but they are the people, the uh, First Nations people, uh, Native American people, tribe. All of those are acceptable labels. The one thing that I'm going to let you know about is that it used to be that people thought this sign was offensive, which I really never understand why anyone thinks any sign is offensive. It's a sign. However, so some people were using a replacement sign for Indian, which was this, and I adopted that sign because I saw the video conference back in the '90s where someone from, well, someone who was Native American Dakota, I believe, was explaining and lecturing that that was the new choice. Be careful, because later other people said, "Oh, that was not decided and agreed upon by the inter-council deaf." There is an intertribal deaf council. I don't remember the name. I should have looked it up. We can look it up. You can look it up. But there is such an organization, and they had not approved this sign, and so we were back to using this sign again. I'm just telling you that there's those 2 signs out there, and there may be more. I don't know. I'm using this sign currently, and I don't see that it's offending anyone, and so we're fine. Okay, therefore, let's take a look at Val's message. Did you catch that? June 30th to July 4th. July 4th happens really fast. 5 days, right? Helps if you know ahead of time to recognize things, right? Um, Interpreting is impossible. Interpreting is easy. Depends. It depends. I know. Okay. Okay, so she didn't spell all the letters for Union Institute, but she didn't use the sign Institute, because this tends to mean deaf school institute, but you can you got it. Okay, I think that's enough for you to succeed with this task. What I want you to do is I want you to watch this first part, which is about 4 minutes, I think. Hang on, let's take a look. Okay. Wow. 420 on both. Okay. So it's 420. Go figure. And so then you see the same person, in this case Val, will show up again, and she will tell the same story. Again, it's not a copy of what she just did. She's retelling the same story, but it may have a different information, different details. Oh, one more thing. Let's finish this thought. And then you will see, okay, so it comes in again, and she tells the same story again. Uh, there are different Indian populations around the United States. This particular one is in Montana, which is called the Northern Cheyenne people. What happened to TUI and the Union Institute? Well, probably you'll see that information later. Okay, so the point is, this is a retelling, same information, but it may not be in the same order. It's spontaneous. It's not scripted and planned and detailed. In other words, it's not a TED talk, so it's closer to real. Plus, we have this. Okay, so we have a sample interpreter, and I've muted the sound, but they will then say what they want to say. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds until you understand everything that she's signing. I don't want there to be any confusion. You figure it out, talk with your peers, whatever you need to do, so you understand what she's saying. The answers will be here in the second part, but I want you to push it through your brain yourself and not to depend on the other person. I've already given you a lot of information now. Then I want you to watch the retelling and stop it, like I just did, before she starts talking. You tell someone in the room with you, and they don't have to know ASL, but better if they don't know ASL, because they're going to be listening to what you sound like. Did that make sense? Does it sound like normal English? Do you know English grammar? Give it a shot. Okay, because sometimes we lose that. We become interpreters and we use interpreter speak, and we understand each other just fine. And then those hearing people that we used to be ourselves don't understand what we're talking about. So keep your English skills goodly. Okay, so we're going to stop, say what you're going to say, and then play, and then see the next segment, and then stop, say it, and then play, see what they say. You're going to compare and learn and whatever, but that's the activity. This should take you a half an hour. Well, it should take you a half an hour to do this part. Maybe a little bit more time to understand everything that Val is explaining. And we're going to do this all over again with a different video, and I'm not going to explain it all again, for that video will be a shorter prep video. See you on that video.